Johnny Mi Vida Loca Tapia. Marco Antonio Barrera.
For a match made in the history books.
Tapia has got to use his lack of size to stay out of the way and hit.
Don't grab. Neither man knows much about fighting going backward, although Barrera did try to fight going backwards.
Just look, make this guy worry about your size and your punching power. Don't go in there trying to outbox him.
Strengthened his jab. It's been the keynote of the early going here.
If you're Barrera.
In his biggest fight against power puncher Danny Romero to do again tonight.
There you go, right on top of that jab with that right hand by Tapia.
Right at Barrera, challenging him in the middle of the ring.
It's a face-to-face fight. Barrera leading, Tapia
cans his ground, bobs and weaves, and then throws shots.
Well, Freddie wrote.
Hurts your back after a while. Well, he's got to make certain that he doesn't get caught with too many of those jabs.
Barrera has been longer and stronger throughout the first 3 minutes of the fight.
I don't like the fact that he's been able to land those jabs.
35 out of 93 overall, 18 of 51 jabs. If Marco Antonio Barrera is 3 nose breaks for every trainer.
You know, if you're not punching, get away from this guy.
And Tapia comes in so close that he gets hit with a lead uppercut like that early on.
And it's beginning to get a little puffy under his eyes, Jim.
Yeah,
Barrera blocking Tapia's jab upstairs.
You see Tapia to wait.
You just sit and wait. Jab, jab, and wait. Something will happen. Something will open the caution of the night. Throw it out, but get it back. But he's out there with Man Mountain. Barrera looks like a giant. Punching like a
willing to take no for an answer.
You may notice that on the back of Barrera's trunk, see something that looks like SOS. It's actually 505, which is the area code.
To throw more punches than Barrera down the stretch of round number 2. So Tapia brings his crowd to life with a late output, dropped from 93 in the first round to 69 in the second round. His connect percentage went way down also. 20
tries to leverage for harder shots. That's when Tapia can take over. Keep the jab going.
Right hand by Barrera.
No. That's not necessary. Right hand did a lot of damage. You don't want to get hit with 2 of those in one round.
This fight, whether Barrera needed the kind of rage he showed against Barrera.
Yeah, he's fighting him like he doesn't know him.
Yeah.
And there's a body shot. It was a low blow.
Timeout.
And now Nady's going to buy it, even though he didn't see it because he was behind him. Said, no, you're not going to be the retaliator. Okay, Johnny's making quite a show for the crowd.
Tapia goes on top of that left jab again.
To Barrera's classic left hooks to the body. For so long, it was his defining weapon. He's added so much to that.
When a guy has that kind of reach advantage, as Barrera has tonight, you just got to find other ways to do anything.
Careful, guys. Well, Tapia's view of the fight, often expressed, has been sooner or later Barrera's going to come to me and he's going to want to fight.
In New Mexico, it was not in Mexico City or Bolivia.
Tapia.
He's winning this fight on clean punching with that left jab. But Jim, if we always talk about the 4 points.
Load here in the 4th round as Johnny Tapia seems to try to figure out answers for what to do about Barrera's.
He has done. You're going to have to get out there and fight. No doubt about it. You can't try to box this big, tall guy with a good left jab. You got to.
Among all the questionable things governing bodies have done in recent years, stripping Johnny Tapia for fight.
Once again, Barrera is playing this cautious game. Allows this guy to get him into the rope. Next is jab to the body by Barrera.
Out and throwing 93 punches in the first round. Barrera has become exceedingly patient here in the sooner or later. And then reacting when Tapia gets close.
Now that he can fight while he's moving backwards.
And he's hot. Marco Antonio's Barrera's left jab. CompuBox numbers through 4 of a scheduled 12. Barrera 96 out of 264 in the fight. And of course, the big part of that margin coming from that repeated jab.
Boy, you fight a tall guy like Barrera, and
now he tries to unload his own jab. Maybe see if
got to turn this into a brawl and then make the other guy start fighting so he can box a little bit. Jump on him. You can't just jump on him.
Larry Merchant mentioned how Johnny Nassim Hamed is typical of Johnny Tapia. That legal problems. When Tapia came back and said to his wife Teresa, "I'm going to fight Marco Antonio Barrera instead," Teresa said,
holding his life together outside the ring and managing him for his fights. Teresa better get the rally monkey out for Johnny Tapia.
When a guy's
face or the fighter like Barrera.
He doesn't have a corner that kind of reminds him of certain situations.
Johnny. For a while, it looked as though Tapia was starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm, but the last 2 rounds have been one-sided.
Barrera's done anything to make Barrera bring his arms down yet. You can't get into the fight again like that. Keep it up.
Almost as though he heard you, George. Biggest rally of the fight for Tapia. This is a fight that Tapia can do some damage in.
This is what I was talking about.
Corazon, the heart of Johnny Tapia. Showing up once again. Tapia seems to have a little bit here. Now Barrera starts to come out of his shell. Tapia goes down, and Jay Nady says it's a slip. Trip to the canvas that some observers thought should have been called a knockdown.
See Barrera try to protect his body some, and that's when you can go on top if you're Tapia. Make him protect his body.
Rhythm. Tapia driving forward, and he nails Barrera with a right uppercut inside.
Don't do it! Don't do it! Box!
Tapia is alive and awake in Las Vegas.
That conversation, shoulder of Barrera. Tapia had success.
The 6th round appeared to be Johnny Tapia's best. Did you give it to him?
Absolutely, Jim. 59-55. What did he? Couldn't get off. And Johnny Tapia beat him up on the ropes.
And you heard Rudy Perez.
Made things exciting in the corner, so that means they don't like what's happening.
Normally.
That round, the last round. Don't let him coast if you're Barrera. Attack the man.
Showing his old combativeness.
And by Tapia. Hard right hand by Barrera. Bucks. The touch glove scene in Las Vegas recently has been so magnificent in some instances. And there hasn't been a clink here either. Before that one, out of 50th. And 14 of Barrera's 16 connects by CompuBox numbers were jabs.
Tapia seems to do so much better when he's on a move, moving to Barrera's left.
Don't hold!
Remember, Tapia keep right there on the rope. You tell a fighter not to drop his hands, but Tapia does better when he drops his hand.
You talked about how Tapia does better when he goes to Barrera's left side. Does that mean if he's going to do damage?
But he's out of harm's way.
Johnny's looking brave here, but he's not landing, and he's taking left hands in return. Jebs in round 8 on Harold Letterman's scorecard as we reach the 9th.
Now Barrera is getting in the left hook occasionally. That's better. Make a guy afraid to go to your left. That right hand was effective by Tapia that time. Right on top of that laser jab.
To Junior Jones, he decided he needed greater variety in his game, particularly a longer jab.
Snapping that left jab anymore.
Not like he did in the early rounds.
He's throwing it, but that's the way it is. You just can't let a guy just let yourself down because the guy beat you in the first.
His heart beats right through his chest.
Fight with.
Sort of the way he did against Prince Nassim Hamed.
No, he's protecting himself. He's in on his own.
Well, they're back in the center of the ring where Barrera has been totally dominant through most of the evening. Working and working. The Tapia crowd rising from their seats, trying to urge their man back into the... Tapia has to come right back. And they hug and touch gloves again. 65, Tapia 12 out of 45. The numbers pile up for Barrera. Harold, how do you have it?
Somehow or another, he stopped punching around 8, but then again in the 9th, I thought he did. He got inside and landed.
He tries to play possum, then come back.
Stop!
Don't push. The land Tapia was able to get in the body earlier. Now he's starting to realize that, look, if I don't jab, this guy's going to...
There's for Barrera. Johnny Tapia, as always, tries to bounce right back.
Making more of a show of fighting than actually fighting, George. He's doing a few...
You got to accept that you're going to get caught something, but you got to keep fighting.
He's giving some, but he's taking a lot.
Off before he refreshes himself. Got the power. Why does he hold back? I don't know.
Because
only one fighter in Johnny Tapia's long career really clocked him with a shot and knocked him.
Oh, what a guy. Can knock down a knot. You can punch, you can knock him out.
Tapia's glove touched the canvas. Dane Nady either didn't see it or decided not.
Miss here, miss there.
That replay showed that Tapia's glove approached the canvas. I couldn't tell. 6 rounds. And you saw that both fighters have good records past the 10th. He's had 2.
Barrera has got the right opponent, the right size. He hasn't tried to finish this.
They both wear the same word on the back of their trunks because
what he should have been doing. Don't get this guy all that nerve. Show your power off.
He said what?
Barrera doesn't even look like he's been in a fight. Tapia
never quits.
Dousing the fire.
Pop, pop, pop with the jab.
Magic word you said, Larry, is the way he's fighting. The reason he looks the way he looks is because he's been fighting tonight. Right?
Got him.
This is it. Last round, you got it close with a good showing. Combination.
67 punches. My copy box numbers. Johnny Tapia only 37.
Real quickly, Johnny Tapia slipped because the traction is poor, because the ring is very slippery. 102.
Yeah,
it's Barrera by 5.
Thank you.
Now Barrera goes to the body and to the head.
Tip to say, I don't know.
He caught a punch. He says he caught a head. I didn't see it.
I thought maybe he caught a lace. I thought maybe he got laced or thumbed in the eye. That was what he was complaining.
Barrera now fighting like he has to win the last round.
He's got him. All he has to do is go for the finish.
For Johnny Tapia against Marco Barrera. One more, starts sticking his left hand in Tapia's face again.
That left jab has told the story tonight.
One of you who have watched Johnny Tapia through his long career to know that by the man Johnny Tapia called the king of the featherweights, Marco Antonio Barrera of Mexico City, plays
Marco Antonio Barrera.
One of the things most to be celebrated tonight, Larry and George, is that after everything he's given to the sport, Johnny Tap Cambia box numbers. So it was the latest of a handful of rather one-sided rounds.